Hi, this is Kelly from Use It Scrapbooking, and today we're going to show you how to use a map to make an embellishment for your page, a flower embellishment for your page. To do this, you need a map. You could use an old road map you have. You could use a theme park map. That would really theme well for your pages for that scrapbook. And a punch. This is mine. A handy dandy floral punch I'm using today. I used a couple of inks in the colors that match the map. You might want to use stains or something that might match your page. A craft pick and a pin pad, and then some cute brads. I actually have some really cute travel brads that I'm using because they kind of go with the map, but whatever cute brad you have will work well. Okay. So now you're ready to punch out your map, and what I like to do with my punches instead of punching this way is I actually like to flip them upside down, because then I can line up the paper exactly where I want it. I can get it right to the edge so I don't waste too much paper, and I can also punch out where I want it to punch out in the pattern. For this one, for example, this happens to be a map of Dallas, Fort Worth area, and I drove through there not too long ago. So I'm going to want to include Dallas in part of my flower, so when I put it on my page, it'll show up. That one, that's my second one. Pop that out of there. And then we'll punch the third one right here. There we go. Okay, so the next tool you're going to want to pull out is your Petal Roller. This one is from Imaginess, and the Petal Roller, if you haven't seen it before, has a one end is kind of a ball end. It's metal, and you'll use this to put pressure on your page. And the other end is a slotted end. I don't know if you can see how well you can see that there. But you can use that for quilling or giving texture to the ends of maybe a straighter piece. For this particular one, we'll be using the ball end, and we're going to use that on our map. And for this particular one, I want the flower to, I want the flower petals to come in. You could also make them so that the petals kind of go out and are curved up in the middle, embossed in the middle, but I kind of like the way that this looks. So I want to put the side of the map that I want facing up in the flower. I'm going to put that up on the push pad. Okay, so I'm going to push along the edge like this. And if you put your fingers closer to it, you'll have a little bit more leverage. I'm trying to keep my fingers kind of out of the picture so you can see what I'm doing. But you can see how that's starting to curl up there. And then you want to work your way kind of towards the center. And you can do kind of smaller circles to do that. And again, that's going to give you more texture. It's going to give you more lift to the paper. And what the ball is actually doing is breaking down the fibers of the paper. When it goes through all the machines and everything to be created, it's flattening out those fibers, and when you ball it up like this, you're breaking it down. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next petal, and we're going to do this for all the petals on our flower. Again, we're just tracing around the edge of the petal and bringing that up and giving this paper some texture. The heavier paper that you have when you're doing this, probably the longer you'll need to do it, or the more pressure you will need to apply. Okay, so I have used the Petal Roller on all three of my flowers, and I've gone from something that's just flat like that, you can see that it's thin there, just lays flat, to these really textured pieces. You can see how the center, I didn't do anything in the center, I just did the petals, so the center is still flat, and you can see how the ends are all flipped up there, and giving it a little bit of depth for your page. And the great thing about it is you're giving it depth, but it's still paper, so it's going to be light. It's not going to weigh your pages down, and even if it gets flattened a little bit in your book, it's not going to damage it at all. You're still going to see the texture. And I'm thinking maybe you can see here, you might be able to see there, how it's because it's curled up, there's some little wrinkles there around the edge, and I'm going to bring those out using my inks. And for this I decided to use this lemongrass. That's a color box pigment brush pad and their true blue one. I thought that went well with kind of the colors that were in the map. So we are going to ink away, and I actually like to have kind of a, I'm not just doing the edges, I'm going to kind of do the whole, almost the whole petal here with the lighter color, because I think it'll help the darker color stand out when I do that. And again, it would be great to use this inks of any color, obviously, to help it coordinate with your page if you have certain colors that you're using. Definitely, I would choose to use those. Another great thing to use on this would be any of your sprays or stains would be fun on here too. Anything anything you can use that gets in those crevices is fun and brings some of that out. So definitely use what you have, and I know that you have some of these things around, whether it be ink or paint or spray, because we all like that new stuff that comes out. Okay, so see, I'm doing the blue just around the edges now. So that yellow greenish was kind of towards the center, and I'm using the blue around the edge. And I'll do that on all 3 flowers. Alright, I have all 3 flowers inked up, and now I'm going to use my craft pick, which is really just a sharp point. You could use any sort of needle. This happens to be Tim Holtz Tonic Studios craft pick, and I like it because it is retractable. So when I put it in my bag and I go to search for it later, I don't get poked by it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to poke a hole right in the center of all 3 of these. And so that's all 3. And then you just need to decide which flowers you want on top. Again, I mentioned that I had been to Dallas, drove through there fairly recently, so I'm going to put that on top because I think it'll be kind of a fun thing to add on to our road trip page. And then you want to layer them all together, but I try to layer them so they kind of peek through and the petals alternate a little bit. So there's that. And then I'm going to choose a cute Brad, the Interstate 81. That's kind of cool since we were on a road trip. And you could just pop it through that hole we just created. Get your Brad the way you want it. Like that. And voila! You have your own map embellishment to go with any of your travel pages. Thanks for watching, and check us out at useitscrapbooking.com. Thank you.